All right, so today we're going to pull apart a story that, on the surface, feels like a chilling thriller. But if you look closer, it's really about something much bigger, the very nature of truth itself. This one sentence, it's the key that unlocks everything we're about to get into. It's not just a quote, it's really the start of a mystery. And like a lot of mysteries, this one kicks off on a completely normal day. Okay, so let's picture this. We're in a small, tight-knit community. You know the kind, where everyone knows everyone, and a school playground feels like the absolute safest place on earth. This is Gabby, the kind of kid who just lights up a room. Her mom, who had just finished up a parent-teacher meeting, told her to stay close. But you know how it is in a kid's world, a promise to stay put can be forgotten pretty quick for a moment of fun. Gabby just ran off, laughing, totally free. And just like that, the laughter's gone. A single moment of carelessness turns into this endless, awful silence. The ordinary day is just shattered. And this right here, this is the single thread that the entire initial investigation is going to hang on. Think about that. Not a face, not a name, just a piece of clothing. A fleeting, fractured memory from a child who was obviously terrified. Well, that evening, the search ends. And it ends in the worst way imaginable. The fear that had just been kind of simmering under the surface in town, it just boils over into full-blown tragedy and a desperate, desperate need for answers. And, that need for answers, it can be an incredibly powerful thing. But it can also be really, really dangerous. It can push people to build a narrative that feels right, but is just tragically wrong. So what happened next was like a textbook example of how things can go so wrong. You've got that one single clue, the clothes. That leads the police to this quiet, kind of reserved parent. Now, the community is screaming for a fast resolution, right? So confirmation bias just completely takes over. Everyone needed a villain, and this guy, he fit the part. So the arrest was super quick, the conviction felt like a sure thing, and boom, case closed. And there you have it. The court found him guilty. Life in prison, no chance of parole. Justice, right? That's what it looked like. The town could finally take a breath, thinking the monster was locked away for good. Then, the story takes another dark turn. About a year later, an inmate kills him in prison. And for some people, that was the real justice. In a pretty chilling twist, Gabby's own parents actually thanked the man who did it. For them, for the whole community, the book was finally and violently slam shot. But here's the thing. The case, it wasn't over. Not by a long shot. Because when you build a story on such a shaky foundation, it's only a matter of time before it all comes crashing down. And this is where everything changes. It just goes to show you, all it takes is one small voice, one tiny crack of doubt to bring an entire accepted story to its knees. Can you just imagine hearing these words? The one and only eyewitness, the little girl whose testimony sealed a man's fate, starts to wonder if she got it wrong. After a whole year of silence, she makes this absolutely terrifying confession. This is where the whole thing just crumbles. See, her memory wasn't necessarily wrong, it was incomplete. She really did see the clothes, but the huge assumption everyone made was that she only saw them on one person. That was the critical error. And it begs the question, who was this someone else? Well, it turns out this someone else was at the exact same parent-teacher meeting Gabby's own mother was at. And just like that, the entire investigation snaps its focus. It goes from some random outsider to the very heart of the community. The circle of suspicion just got terrifyingly small. So this brings us to the final act, the real core of this story. Because now, investigators aren't just hunting for clues anymore. They're trying to look past a convenient lie to find a truth that was, right there the whole time. So the police take another look. But this time, there's no rush. This is the kind of investigation that really should have happened from day one. It was slow, it was methodical, and it was completely free from that intense community pressure that just clouded everything the first time around. They weren't trying to make a clue fit a person. They were just looking at all the evidence, starting from square one. So, what do you think they missed? I mean, what changes when you take assumption completely out of the equation? When you ignore that easy answer and just look at the cold, hard facts of what happened that day, what new truths start to bubble to the surface? Well, the conclusions they came to were actually really simple, and that's what made them so horrifying. First, she didn't wander far. Second, she didn't leave by herself. And third, she trusted whoever took her. This wasn't some random act. No, Gabby was taken by someone she knew, someone she wouldn't have screamed or run from, someone she trusted completely. What happened next was, well, it was a kind of silent conclusion. Officially, on paper, nothing changed. An innocent man was dead, and the case remained closed. But unofficially, the community knew. They could see it in the way Gabby's mother changed, how she withdrew from everyone, stopped going to things, how she just couldn't look anyone in the eye anymore. And this was the whisper that started to spread through town. It wasn't something from a police report. It was a truth that people just pieced together by watching, by knowing each other. Her alibi for the meeting, it didn't hold up. It was never challenged in a courtroom, but it became the unspoken verdict in the community. And that really brings us back to that question from the beginning, doesn't it? Was the truth actually hidden, or was it protected? Was this a truth that was just so hard to find? Or was it a truth so monstrous, so unbelievably close to home, that the whole system, the community, maybe even the family itself chose to protect a comfortable lie instead of facing a reality that was just unbearable? What do you think?